Okay, so first of all, thank you for being here, Chris. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. Let's start talking about. This is your first visit to South America, right?
Not first to South America. Savatage had been here
Oh,
in
Sabotage has been
Brazil.
here.
Yeah, we went three different times. We had
Oh,
one tour where we first showed up, and then we came back for the Monsters of Rock in I believe it was '98, and then we played in 2001, but it was only in Brazil. So we've never been to Chile or Argentina before. Just
just to
three visits
Brazil.
to Brazil. Yeah.
Okay, so well, are you excited about being in Chile for the first time?
Yeah, I always love going to places where I've never been, even if it's a town next to mine in New York. So it's like I have no idea what to expect. It's so funny because you have a really, obviously we've been to Europe so many times. You know exactly where everything sits geographically and how the weather is and what a lot of the architecture is like. I have absolutely no idea what to expect because I've never been there. So I'm really looking forward to it.
So, but have you ever like heard about Chile
Yeah,
or
I mean,
anything?
well,
Or
I always see nowadays, you see everybody's videos, so you'll see everybody's tour videos and different people take their sightseeing videos, but I think almost every human being is different, so what I may find there, nobody else may see, so I
yeah,
have no idea what I'm going to be able to find. I'm trying to remember exactly what our schedule is as far as I know we fly there tomorrow, and then I believe we play Wednesday. I think that's how it works.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so well, depending on what time we get there is how what I'll be able to do when I'm there tomorrow, and then with the festival, I think we play a little later in the day because there's 2 days, right?
Yeah, it's 2 days.
Yeah,
Uh,
so it's split up. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I've heard nothing but great things about the crowd. So I'm ready to go.
so this is the first tour with Sabotage in quite a long time, right?
Yeah, very
How
long.
how are you feeling about it? How was the first concert in Brazil? How has everything been so far?
Well, for me, I never really wanted Sabotage to stop playing. It was so many other things going around in the Sabotage TSO family, and so many different things that were happening that Sabotage kind of, I don't know if it necessarily got the back burner or just kind of put on the side a little bit, and then I think time went by a lot faster than any of us realized it was going to.
Yeah.
The plan was always, even when we stopped playing, to do another Sabotage record, but then it just took so much time, and then we turned around and did Vakken in 2015, and we talked about starting up again, and then Paul O'Neill died, and then COVID happened, and then you blinked your eyes, and another 10 years were gone. So
Yeah.
it just got to a point now where we got some good offers. I mean, John Oliva did an interview with a magazine in Greece, an online interview, and he mentioned working on a new Sabotage record, and that kind of put a lot of press out. I had people emailing me and messaging me going, "Oh, it's great news hearing Sabotage is doing a new record." I'm like, "We are?" Because we were always writing, but I never saw John's announcement until I looked at like Blabbermouth, and I think through that the offers started coming in to me, to the band members, to our management, to our agents, and management came up to us last year and said, "Hey, what do you guys want to do? We have some really good offers." And me, I basically started crying. I was like, "Let's go." I've been waiting for 20 years, over 20 years to play again. So, I was a little bit nervous before the show on Saturday just because it had been so long, and I didn't want to, not even necessarily disappoint the fans. I didn't want to disappoint myself,
Yeah.
and not play as well as the way I wanted to for everybody. So, but the show went great, and now today I just feel like we never stopped. It feels like we're just in the middle of another Sabotage tour, and I don't have any nervous energy about today's show at all. Or the ones that are coming up. Everything to me now is just going to be fun, and that's it.
That's great. I mean,
Yeah.
feeling like you guys never stopped. It's a good thing to
Yeah,
feel.
no, it's like I said, we got up on that stage, and this lineup played together a lot with the Dead Winter Dead and Wake of Magellan tours, and we just really felt like we never stopped. You know, it was a lot of fun, and everybody in the audience really liked what we did, and we're excited to do today's show because we get to play a little bit longer, you know, and it's one of the situations that are a little bit more controlled. You know, the festivals, they always have so many little X factors that could happen with the weather and the production and this and that. So we have a little more control today, and it's just going to be I think it's a lot more stressful for the crew and the band, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
So you guys are playing here in Chile with bands like Opeth, Judas Priest. The next day is Scorpions, Scorpions Europe, and Queensryche. How do you feel, sharing stage with all of these great bands? You know, Savatage also being a great band.
Well, for me, it's these were the bands, Scorpions, Judas Priest. They were the bands I grew up on. You know, even in some respects, Queensryche. You know, when I was in high school, that's when that first EP came out. So, you know, these are all bands I've been listening to since I was a little kid. You know, so to be sharing the festival with them and to walk into the building and, you know, see them say hello and they know you, and it's always kind of surreal. You know, you're like living exactly what you dreamed when you were growing up, and these people that you used to go pay for shows and wait in line for tickets, they're, you know, playing right after you. So it's kind of fun like that, you know, and I enjoy it. I like watching them. I really enjoyed watching the bands the other day. You know, I'd not seen Europe live, I don't think, in a few decades. I think I might have actually just saw them only at one festival I did a very long time ago, and they were awesome, and you know, I'm pretty good friends with the Priest guys, and it's always fun to see them, and the Scorpions are just legendary, so it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, for example, for me, it's the first time seeing all of these bands, so it's pretty exciting to have all these amazing bands in just 2 days, you know?
Yeah, no, and the Opeth guys, that's such a great band too, and I really never had a chance to do any shows with them before, and they've been so kind to me and the band about, you know, how much they respect Savatage. So it's really awesome to hear musicians like that speak about the band and the music. So it's you know, I'm really excited to see them in their show today, you know, because I missed them the other day. We got there after they'd finished, you know, to the festival grounds, and I never got a chance to see them the other day.
Okay. So you mentioned before this new album that John talked about. Uh, is there like any music being written, or?
Well, we have lots of songs written. There just right now is not a set plan as far as scheduling. So our main concern was to come down here and play and do well. You know, and then from there we were going to start piecing together everything as far as to, you know, what's going to happen in the future. We're going to play, you know, I think we're going to do a lot of shows next year. So we're just kind of piecing everything together right now. I don't have any definite dates or things I could tell anyone right now. So all I know is that we're writing and we're talking about it, and we're taking everything one day at a time.
Perfect. That's probably the healthiest approach to it.
Yeah, you can't. If I say something, it'll be like Chris Caffery says the Savatage record will come out, and then all of a sudden, no, I didn't. I gave an estimate. I never. And you always get like the sites that'll cut your interviews apart and pick one sentence from the middle of it, from the middle on. You know.
Yeah.
put it as the title of the internet story.
Yeah, it's in the thumbnail there, like, he said this, and it's like, no, I didn't.
Exactly.
So, what can we expect for the concert here in Chile? Probably the same as in Brazil?
Yeah,
something
I think
different?
we're gonna do the same festival set as you saw in the Monsters one. There's a chance we might be swapping one or two songs, but that I do not know. People, I don't want to announce what we're doing tonight because I don't want to give away, but there's maybe one or two songs that might be different, but there's a good chance it might be exactly the same just because of we're syncing the music to some video. The lighting designer Brian Hartley from Trans-Siberian Orchestra has video on all of our songs. So, and they're running to a time code, and the set list is set up. So I don't want to throw his computer at it. He's going to have it programmed as festival and then headline show, and I don't want to knock it out. I just froze, my hands in the air.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's they may be the same, the three festival shows.
Okay. So, this is a question I always like to ask. Is after so many years of playing with Savatage and playing live, what makes you keep going? What's your motivation for it? Because every musician has a different motivation for this.
Well, for me, Savatage was a huge and is a huge part of my life, but it's also a huge part of me. I got into that band at a very young age. Chris Oliva was a very big influence of mine, but he's also a very close friend of mine. And, it just doesn't need motivation, for me. I feel like my life is back to normal now that Savatage is back in it. It's like my pulse is fine. If there's, you get older, you get different challenges you have to take on. You have family members and friends. Some of them pass away. Some of them get sick. You get different situations with your businesses, and life is, always like this. You get things like COVID that run through, and I think the Savatage thing is giving a really good balance. No matter how up and down things are, I have this stable engine in the middle of my body and my soul that's Savatage, and with that as a part of my life, I don't need the motivation to do Savatage. It's kind of like breakfast, lunch, dinner, Savatage. It's kind of one of these things where, to me, it's just would be a part of every day. And now when I get the schedules and I see the name Savatage in the emails, and I see the magazine posts and the internet posts and all these fans, and it just feels like everything's back to normal.
That's great, actually.
Yeah.
So
no, it feels good because we never broke up. So I always used to see people say Chris Caffery ex Savatage, and I'm like, well, first of all, I never left Savatage. Savatage, I did once a long time ago for a couple of years, but I'm not ex Savatage, so now it just feels good to be back in. When people are going, it's a Savatage reunion, and I was like, well, we just took a long vacation. It was like.
So, to start closing the interview, any words for your Chilean fans? They're probably most of them are going to see you live for the first time.
Well, that's just it. I mean, we're really excited because a lot of the places that we're going back to, we'll see fans that we saw before. And then you have the new generation of fans. Someplace like Chile and Argentina, where we've never been, there's going to be so many people that have never seen us. So we're looking forward to making a lot of new memories and a lot of new friends. And we've heard a lot of very good things about the audiences, and I can't wait to see it on stage myself.
Well, and we can't wait to see Savatage finally here in Chile as well. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be great. So,
yeah. Well, Chris, thank you again for your time. Thank you for giving us this time for this interview. And well, we'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. I'm gonna go to sound check now, and then we play and end it. I'll probably be back in my hotel around midnight, and then I have to look and see. We fly out tomorrow, so we'll be on our way. So we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
Take care, man.
Have a good day. I'll see you soon.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.